Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller prospecting. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever, episode number 171. We're going to be going through some old Paydirt from the old king of Arizona, Lynch Mining. And this is just the Gizmo's Paydirt. This is the ones that had no guaranteed amount of gold. They were pretty cheap back in the day. And I've got 4 of them to go through. So we'll be going through those today, but let me go catch up on chat, see who's here. Adam Weiss, thank you for being here and being here early. Ken, the gentleman prospector, thank you for being here early as well. Aaron Mack, Brad Thompson, David Dissaltels. If you drive without tires, you never have to fix them, brother. Simple life hack. Life hack. Shane Prothero, how's it going? Dean Olson. Crystalline gold battle. Now, that would be a very expensive battle. And does anyone else sell crystalline gold other than Gold Bay? Gold Bay, I think, is the only person I've ever seen really selling crystalline Paydirt consistently. So if there was 2 of them, I might write it down. So tell me who the other one might be. Joey Brown, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Refotris, how's it going, brother? I apologize. I just saw your text like a half hour ago. For whatever reason, I don't know why, I didn't put you in my contact list. So I just thought it was like a bill collector or somebody, and I just ignored the text and didn't even look at it until just now. I was like, oh, before I delete this, let me see what they said. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I apologize, brother. I'll be emailing you back. I don't know if I got an email or not. I'll have to look. So my emails that I give everyone kind of get flooded, but I definitely will check and email you later tonight, brother. Heath Dottie's Adventures, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Mama Bird, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. Jason G. Mark Sheldon Ortiz, thank you for being here and being a mod. Donna Curran, thank you for being here and being a mod. I appreciate it. Michael Reed, Kristen Reed. Doing good, doing good. You got both accounts, MCD prospecting. Who else is here? Package Total, how's it going? Thank you for David Danduran, thank you. Mentally Corrupted. Think I got everyone. Chris W. Culver Prospecting. John Gear. I keep saying I think I got everyone. Randy Klatt. All right, now I think I have everyone. I could pop out chat. So let me pop it out. There we go. Set it to live chat. There we go. All right. All right, now we're all set. We're all set to go. So there you go. And Ortiz, thank you for being here and being a mod. And tell your wife to stop posting pictures of Facebook all the food. Because every time I see them, it's late at night. I'm getting hungry. So tell her to stop. Looks really good. That's why. It looks really good, brother. She's definitely cooking it up for the kids. So tell her she made me gain 5 pounds just looking at her pictures. So yeah, I saw, I don't know, was that a recent video or short by Culver that he had 1 bag left of the body bag? I think it was probably late. I just saw the pop up and I thought last time we were here somebody said that. Sean McClelland, nothing wrong with watching me while you're at work, except for the ugly mug part, but we'll be panning soon enough. Alaskan Assassin Adventures, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. No. So yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a specialty gold battle. You know, I just recently did the one with the all the different specialty Paydirts from Gold Nugget sales, but it would be nice to do one versus somebody else, you know. But I don't know. I mean, I know Gold Bay gets crystalline gold pretty often, and he has his Paydirt up pretty often, but I don't know anyone else that does that has crystalline gold. So it'd be a great battle. I mean, other than Brian Thomas might have it up, but you're getting the same thing. So it wouldn't really be much of a battle. They're roommates, so. But that would be an interesting battle. And I'm always up for anyone that comes up with ideas for Paydirt battles. I jot them down. I have a giant spreadsheet upstairs with all kinds of battle ideas. And then there's a lot of times it's just making it happen, so. All right, no worries, but thank you for popping in, Ed. I appreciate it. My other mod, HD Shovel Ed, pretending like he's busy at work. Dragons AU, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. JNV Rock Hounding. And before I forget, I need to write a note of this. Refotris, I need to send you that other diamond Paydirt. So if I forget when I email you, remind me. Tell me, send me a reply that I'm supposed to send you that dirt because I have to add something to it. So remind me I'm supposed to be adding something to it. Donna, thank you very much, Donna. I really appreciate that. And David Danduran, thank you very much. Y'all are like sinking. Your minds are sinking. I appreciate that very much. Way too kind. No. But like I said, today we're doing the other half of Arizona. I've been on an Arizona kick lately. So I did the battle between Lynch mining and Vendetta prospecting. And then last Tuesday, we panned out some Vendetta prospecting. So I figured it was only fitting we pan out the other half of that battle this week. The loser was Lynch mining, but I still like them. Well, I used to like them when they were good, before they closed up and ripped a whole bunch of people off. Before that, they were pretty good. They kind of went downhill after a while, but they used to be the king of Arizona. And like I said, we have 4 of these bags. I got 4 of these bags to go out. So we got a whole bunch of these bags. Again, no guaranteed gold in each. From my experience, they always had around 0.2 to 0.25, somewhere around there. About a quarter gram each. So I'm hoping to get a gram out of all of them. We'll have to see though. I'm probably just going to dump them all into a pan. We'll just start panning them out and see. Definitely see some paradots in those, I'm pretty sure. I don't think we'll find any Apache tears. That was the other thing that they kind of said might be in there. And rubies. I honestly never found any rubies or Apache tears in any of the Gizmo small $20 bags, because that's what they used to sell for, was like $25-30. Did always find peridot, but not even any big pieces. Curmudgeon, Alaska, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. B&K Golden Coins, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And sorry, I've been in the studio since about 10 this morning. I've been shooting a really long video for another Arizona Paydirt that's going to be this week's Paydirt review. And I've been in here all day panning and panning and panning. So my mind is a little bit fried right now because I've been staring at a gold pan for probably 6 hours straight. Really, really big bag of Paydirt I had to go through, and had a lot of fine gold and just small, a lot of fine material to go through. So I had to keep repanning it over and over. Oh, that's awesome, JNV Rock Hounding. Yeah, he told me he went and met up with a whole bunch of people from YouTube. He didn't tell me everybody, but that's awesome. Rustic Redhead, how's it going? PA Patriot, what's up, brother? Definitely, y'all. Yeah, you only have a couple days to vote. I think it's too late to write me in if you're an absentee ballot for me to be president, but you can definitely, when you go there in person. I already voted absentee. I don't do lines. I'm too old to be doing line stuff. But if you are one of those people that's still young buck and want to go stand in a line, make sure you can write me in. You can just write in Dylan Miller Prospecting for President. I've heard that if I get over 100 people voting for me, they'll just make me president because it's obviously, meant to be. That's awesome. You want a bag of Paydirt? That's pretty cool. It's always better to win Paydirt than buy it, What's up, Rich? A3 Sky Warrior in the house. Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Yeah, Ortiz. Yeah, without kids, food gets pretty plain, and like when I don't have my kids, like today, I wanted to eat something earlier. I just made a bowl of mashed potatoes. That was it. That's what I ate. And for dinner, I'm going to have a bowl of spinach and probably some chicken thrown on top. That's it. But when my kids come over, like my budget for me on a daily basis just to eat is probably like $5 or $6. I eat mashed potatoes and noodles a lot and chicken. But when my kids come over, then I have to do a panini press and stuff like that and make good looking food for them. So it definitely, yeah. She'll get sick of it after a couple of years. Because like right now I'm at the point where I'm like, come on, y'all, move out. I'm ready to just eat noodles all the time. But really awesome that she's doing all that. I'm sure they appreciate it. Who else is here? But that's it. And gold, I see gold has been staying steady at the $85. I think it's about the same as it was last week when we did the show, which is good. But I was talking to Ed earlier today. I started looking at Paydirt. I started going through everyone's websites, just checking up on everybody to see what they were selling and stuff like that. Because typically, I have my secret shopper buy my Paydirts 2-3 months in advance sometimes. So a lot of times I don't know what they're charging when I plan a review. And some of these, it's about $100 now. I mean, most of the good sellers are right around $98 to $110 for a bag of Paydirt. It's getting up there. I will say, and I told this to Ed, I've been preaching for the last couple of weeks on the live show that I think sellers, if they want to keep people in this hobby, they need to start putting some lower price bags of Paydirt, like 1/4 gram bags of Paydirt up and stuff like that. And I did see Brian over at Brian Thomas Gold put up a 1/4 gram bag of Paydirt. So he must be listening in or having the same thoughts I do. So, because one of the things, like I told Ed, is if you stop panning Paydirt because it's not cost effective, not everyone can spend $100 every week or every month to do a bag of Paydirt. They're going to find a cheaper other hobby. They might start collecting gems because you can buy gem Paydirt for $30, and they're not going to come back. You got to give them cheap options. Even if it's a lower ROI, it's better, because if you think about it, if you went and bought a $30 gem bag, you're going to get a whole bunch of gems that you can't do anything with except for have them look pretty. $30 bag of Paydirt, you're going to get a little bit of gold. You might only get a 50% ROI, but, if gold doubles, you made your money back. So definitely going back to the gold standard. 100% definitely going back to the gold standard. And all the gold will be in the White House with me. I will personally guard it all. So I will change. The White House will be made out of gold. I will brick by brick replace every brick in the White House into a gold brick. So who else is here? Brad Welch, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. D3 Dunn, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. That's awesome. Hopefully you found some good gold. I did see that one, Ortiz, the Dino Nugget Volcano. That one was pretty good. So, and I do love me some Dino Nuggets. It's one good thing about having kids is they make you buy food you probably wouldn't buy for yourself, and Hot Pockets, Dino Nuggets. Like I wouldn't ever eat chicken nuggets except for my son asked for them. So they're in the fridge or in the freezer, and every once in a while I pop them out and get me some. So. Rocky Mountain Prospect. There's it going, Brad. Hopefully you've been doing well. Just lurking. That's okay. I don't mind the lurkers. Lurkers are just as good as everyone else. But yeah, so gold's been staying pretty steady. I'm pretty good. Election's almost here and over, and hopefully that will steady it out some more. Maybe it'll drop back down to about $75. I know nobody wants to hear that, but I do. I want to keep gold at like $75 for, another 2 or 3 years. Then it can go up, let the economy go back up first before gold goes up. So we need them to stay even par. That's the problem, is gold's been going up and the economy's not really been going up. So, people don't have extra money to spend on it. We need more money. Income needs to get higher. Everyone's income needs to get higher. And then the gold can go up, or stay around where it's at, go up a little bit. But hopefully everyone's been finding some good Paydirt. And it's another reason why I do these reviews, because now even more than ever, when gold bags of Paydirt cost $100, $112, you want to really spend your money the best way possible. You don't want to get one of these bags where you're getting a 30% ROI with a lot of promises, because a lot of promises don't pay, anything. You want ones where you're getting that good 80, 90% ROI. And in my last battle, what did Vendetta get? Vendetta got a 90-something% ROI. So that should tell you right there, good sellers. A certain person, I think it's irregardless of who gets in office. I think people think presidents do way more than they do. Presidents do very, very little. It's Congress and all them. Those are the people that do everything. Presidents are just figureheads 90% of the time. So the world won't end regardless who goes in. I think it'll all pretty much stay about the same. So. Gold is going to 5,000. Ooh-wee. Well, then I'm going to hold out a while longer before I have to sell my shelf. That's about when my son will be turning 18 and wanting his first car. So I'll be doing a live auction then, selling off all my shelf gold when it's 5,000. It's awesome, Ortiz. Mega Dog, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Dylan Brothers just got to go dig your own. Well, unfortunately, Indiana isn't really the best place. You know, it's better than Louisiana, which is where I'm originally from. In Louisiana, I could dig all the way to the core of the earth, and I probably would never hit gold. Here's a little bit better, but not much. You know, A3 will tell you ain't going to get rich, or Brian from Indiana Creek, he'll tell you, you can go out there, you'll burn more gasoline than you will finding gold. So maybe one of these days when I'm really, really retired, I definitely will be moving way up north. Even if it's somewhere like Wisconsin and I can go on the beach and not use a dredge or motorized things at night, you know. We'll see. Then maybe. What's up? There, Mike from Vendetta Prospecting. There he is, the current king of Arizona. Crash, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. John R. Prospecting, how's it going? So, yeah, so we're going to go to the other half. Last week we did the Vendetta Paydirt from the Battle of Vendetta versus Lynch. But now, let's go pan out some Gizmos. It's been a long time since I've panned out any Lynch, so I'll be curious. It's been a while. Let's go do that. So let's shrink down the ugly mug. And go pan. You have to darken that up. The pan's a little bit too bright right now. All right, panning cam, why are you so bright? There you go. So let's slap on some gloves, move some stuff around, and start panning. So give me a minute while I open up chat. And I think it was you, Package Total, I think, that recommended the OWN tablet as a cheap tablet that could have YouTube on. I ended up breaking down and buying one because I saw one at my local Walmart. And it works great. I got the little one because I didn't want to spend any money in case it didn't work out. But it works. It shows YouTube Live on it. And it's so far working. Burns the battery pretty fast. But I was watching videos on it all day down here while I was panning. But awesome tip. Thank you very much. Whoever suggested that. I thought it was package. Here, let me open up right now. So I don't have to use my phone. There you go. And the best thing about it now is I don't have to use my phone. I don't have to make sure it's charged because I almost never have a charge on my phone at night. PA. Yeah. I'm not buying him a car, but I will help him. I helped my daughter when she got her car. Well, I didn't help her when she initially bought it because she got a loan on it. But when she went to go pay it off, I helped her pay it off so she wouldn't have to keep paying on it. But yeah, and it's the little things, you know, like, you know, you'll tell your kid, you know, bring the used car to the auto mechanic to make sure it's good. Well, I don't have money for that. Well, I'll do it. I'll pay for that. And, you know, that's $200 to bring it to the mechanic and have him look it over. Then he'll say, oh, it needs new tires. He'll tell your kid, oh, buy it and I'll buy you new tires. That's another $600-700 easy. This is all the little things, you know. Wish I had that Paydirt. Email me. I will send you all the Paydirt we find today. How about that? Gizmo's Paydirt. Let me turn my screen so I can make sure I can see stuff. But yeah, Lynch mining. Let's dump one. I need a pan. But if you email me, just type in email in chat. It'll give you my email address. Just email me your address, and I will send you all the Paydirt, brother. Just because you were the first one that asked. And that's if we find any. We haven't even... But here we go. Some nice dark Arizona. Well, there you go. Look at that. Is there any Paydirt in it? Yeah, there you go. There's some. This one's kind of tumbled. Huh. Used to not have any tumbled stuff. Is that the only piece? Yeah, here's another piece. These look tumbled, though. This is weird. I don't remember him ever being tumbled, but there you go. I have some tumbled Paydirt. Let's start panning. Hey, Jason E. Miner, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And if one of my mods wants to post the hidden link, and don't forget, at the end of the show, I will be picking one random comment, and you will win spot number 7. This is the last spot for the bag of Paydirt from Western States Minerals. It had a guaranteed 1/3 gram of gold. We'll be giving that away next week. So make sure once the hidden comment comes up, you go leave a comment. Come back, watch the rest of the show, because you must be here at the end of the show when I give it away, once I pull your name. If I pull your name. You know. And while you're doing that, everybody cross their fingers, because we definitely need... Oh, hold on. Dum 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 dum. I always try to save as much Paydirt as possible, John. Which is weird. It's either feast or famine with me. I'll either be like, oh, look, my shelves are full. I don't have to worry for 2 months. But then I'll do like a big review or a big Paydirt battle, and they're all gone. You know, like when I had the, 5 bags of Paydirt up from GNS, it was just like, oh yeah, my shelf's full of gold, shelf's full of gold. But then all of a sudden I pan them all out, and now my shelf's empty. Yeah. It's also information for anyone else that wants to email me and bug my ear. So, HD's busy, but Donna's here somewhere. So, she might just be lurking now. But no worries. Hey, Mike, how's it going? The other Mike is in the house from the Gold Vlog. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully everything has been well with you, my friend. I keep meaning to email you. I have a note on my desk to email you, and I just keep forgetting. But one of these days, I'll email you, Mike. Yeah, the only problem with that, when I was talking to Ed earlier today, I was like, the only problem with having good Paydirt up on a shelf is if price goes down, though. You know, because like me, I buy typically about 2 months in advance. I buy all my Paydirt. I'll have a secret shopper buy. So if I have a secret shopper buy next month, it'll probably be for January. But the problem is, you know, if I'm paying these prices of 85 a gram now, if gold drops down to 75 in January, I'm losing money. So I'd prefer if I was burning through it quicker, or, you know, I don't know. As long as it keeps going up, I'm not going to complain about having it on my shelf. If it starts going down, I'll start crying. So 3 pieces of gold. First pan. Now we're just going to dump everything into the finishing pan, all 4 bags, and then we'll do the finishing pan. And see, there's HD. He's busy. I know he's having a busy day at work, so. Yeah. And I apologize about chat. It's going to take me a while to get used to, because I used to keep my phone right here, right in front of me. And now the tablet is up on its stand, up much higher. So I'm going to have to definitely move this stand, because I'm not used to having to look so high up and look at try and pan at the same time. So we'll definitely be moving this after this week. No, I mean, Like I said, I would prefer if gold was at about 75 a gram. I think it's a perfect price. Um, it's still a huge jump from where gold was, you know, 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was about, you know, 35. It was probably about 37.50 10 years ago. So it'll have doubled at 75 in 10 years. And that's not bad. So then in 10 years from now, if it's 150, I'll be happy, you know. Have more of those bags. You need to just pan them out. The problem with bags like this, where there's no guarantee, it's hard. You know, like if I have everything that's on my shelf for like, you know, my kids in the future or something to do with my kids in the future, I know those are all 1 gram bags. So I know this is the amount of gold in them, you know. Magnet Fishing Mary, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Crash, thank you for joining the show. I don't know if I said hi to you earlier. I did see you, but I don't know. Brian Phillips, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Aqua Donkey Prospecting. Gold Fever, huh? Well, hopefully we'll see some gold tonight. These are no guaranteed bags from Lynch, so you never know. And I don't know. I got these from somebody else. They're not mine. I got these from somebody else. I don't know when they bought them. They might have bought them when Lynch was kind of dying and they might not put any gold in it, you know. Only seen 3 pieces so far. Oh, that's awesome, John. Yeah, I talked to after I did my review with him, I talked to him for a while. Really nice guy. He had a funny story. He told me that the only reason he's engaged and the only reason that Brian Thomas told, this is his story to me. Now, I don't know if it's all facts or not. This is what he told me. He said the only reason he's engaged to the girl, or he might be married by now, to her, and he actually works with Dave from Gold Bay is because of me. He said one day he watched one of my 3-gram videos on the Gold Bay, and he thought it was the coolest thing ever, the Paydirt and the gold. So he emailed or reached out to Dave at Gold Bay. And he said they started talking and became really good friends, and he ended up moving up there. And, you know, and Dave introduced him to, I think it's Kayla is his girlfriend's name. And they ended up getting engaged. So he said if he would have never seen that video of mine, the 3-gram bag video, he would have never knew anything about Paydirt and moved up there and did all that. You know, he says he owes me a steak dinner, which I would take. He could overnight me the steak. I'll be happy with that. Yeah, I don't know, John. It doesn't matter. It's just fun panning it out. I'm sure they'll have gold in it. I already seen 3 little pieces, so yeah. Yeah, and there's a couple more pieces. Anyone hear that sound like a scratching nail against chalkboard? Is that just my voice? Hopefully it's not like something with the stream. Let me know if it is. If anyone hears horrible stuff. So I'm gonna guess probably I'll probably get 4 bags. I think it's gonna end up being like right under a gram. So or Peridot. There you go. Put that in there so I have to dig it out later. I probably should be pulling these out, but I'll just repaint it all later and get them out really quick. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these. I know the 5-pound bags were always about 0.24, 0.25, but I guess these bags were cheaper, weren't they? Because the 5-pounders were what, like 24, 25, and these were like 18. So yeah, well, I guess if I can get a 3/4 gram, 0.75, if I can get that out of these 4 bags, I'll be happy. I'd be happier if I find a full gram though. Oh, it was Mary. Mandy's Candy, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Like I said, it's been a while since I've panned out any Lynch mining, especially these bags. We're the 5 pounders. And I will tell you, anyone that is a Paydirt vendor out there that's listening to the show, I will tell you that one of the most requested emails I do get is people asking who they can find that sells the 5 pound bags of Paydirt like Lynch Mining used to do. They're really cheap bags with no guarantee. I don't know why, they were $20 back in the day. And this was when gold was what, like 50, $55? And you would find about 0.02 to 0.25 grams of gold. So you were only getting a 60% ROI out of them. But people loved them because it was so much material. A couple more pieces of gold. But that is probably the most asked question about Paydirt I get via email. Where people will ask me, do I recommend, or recommendation emails anyway. I got a lot of emails about weird things, but, do I want to upgrade my website? Do I want to rank better on, But the one where people request info about Paydirts, it's always one up there that's, hey, do you know anyone that sells these 5 pound bags like Lynch Mining used to sell? So you have to have a big hole in your yard, though, or a lot of material to do something like that. Yeah, Coker Creek, yep. Yeah, that's what I said. Most people, it's just because they want to pan out a lot of stuff. People that know they're not going to get a good ROI, because that's the problem is a lot of Paydirts, if you think about it, that don't have a guaranteed, like Golden Paydirt and American Eagle Paydirt, and, some of these Paydirts with no guarantee, you're only getting like 4 ounces of material. So you've been ripped off in about, what, 5 minutes? And then you're like, you didn't even have any fun doing it. You're like 5 minutes later, you're like, oh, wow, I got a 30% ROI. 5 pounds, at least you're going to be saying, well, I'm going to be here for the next hour, panning this out. An hour later, I got a 50% ROI. It's not bad because you got hours worth of entertainment. Just something to think about. Anyone who's got like piles and piles of dirt. There we go. Careless Whispers, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Yeah, $15. That's what I said. It wasn't like they were just $15 though. He would charge you, what was it, like $14 for shipping? So it ended up coming out to like $29, close to $30. More gold. So you'd end up paying $30 and getting about $15 worth of gold, if that. Or like $12. Because I know he made money. So he was making, $3 or $4 on every bag, probably $5 off every bag he sold. And it was mostly just about volume sales. Rustic Redhead, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. 5 buckets underneath the house. There you go. I want a flat rate box. Well, that's the problem is the gold bearing part, because a lot of people will sell you a flat rate box full of dirt, but odds are it doesn't have any gold in it, and they know it doesn't have any gold in it. Or if it has enough gold, it's not going to be as much as you're paying. Like I would tell you, so like Yukon Alley, me and her were talking a while back, and she was telling me, about her tailings, or not her tailings, but her cleanup stuff, the extras, the little black sands that she pans through the rest of the year or just hanging out. That's super concentrated material. She doesn't know how much gold is in it, and that's why sometimes she puts a tablespoon in every bag. That's why some people that buy 1 gram from her end up with 3 grams, because that tablespoon will have 2 grams of gold in it. Just there's no way she would sell that. Because I even told her, why not just put a 4-ounce bag of that and sell it? And she said no, because she's not going to do that, because it might have 8 grams in there, and it might have 1/8 of a gram. So they're just too much of a big swing. So anyone that has dirt, they know generally how much gold's in it. And they're not going to sell it and lose money when they could just pan it out and put it back in the dirt and sell it for a specific price. I'm sorry to hear that, Careless. Hopefully you are doing better. I know I've been sick nonstop the last couple of months, but hopefully you're doing good. All right. Getting a couple pieces. I will say I panned out a really big bag of Paydirt earlier today for the video coming out Saturday. And there's one thing, when you're panning out a little bitty bag of Paydirt like this, you're going to probably get a piece of gold in every single pan because there's just not much material. But if you're panning out 10 pounds of material, if you don't see gold, you start panicking saying, oh no, I'm not finding any gold. But then you got to remember there's just so much material. I am pretty sure that Yukon Alley is a taken woman, so. And she lives way too far. Yeah, that's generally the way it is. I just been having flu and COVID over and over. My kids, they're taking turns trying to kill me. Seeing which one can get me sicker first. I know, which reminds me, I do need to reach out to Allison and find out when she's going to have Paydirt up again. It's been a while. I'm really jonesing. I got to make sure I get some in before she sells out. Is Weezen Geezer here? He finally showed up. What's up, Weezen? Thank you for joining. If one of y'all, more specifically, if Weezen wants to drop the hidden link, put him to work. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. Buy and pan bags of play sand. There's not really that much gold in there. You might get 1, 2, maybe 3 specks out of the entire bag if you're lucky. And one of the things that they don't tell you in a lot of those videos is it's very specific on where the bags of play sand are from. There's a couple plants that make in the United States that make play sand. The ones you want to get are the ones that are made in California, because the ones that come from California are pulled up from the river bottoms and it's just sand. So, but there's also one, I believe it's in I want to say Michigan, but I don't think it is Michigan. There's somewhere else, North Dakota or somewhere, where it's a place where there's no gold. So it really depends. And they're not going to tell you that in those videos because they want you to think that it's just any bag of play sand. More gold. I know, that's what I said. I got to ask her because she sold out really quick last time. In fact, she sold out so quick that I didn't even get any last time, and I was kind of bummed about that. I mean, I could have asked her to make me a bag, but, I wanted my secret shopper to buy one. And I kind of slacked and didn't get one. Yeah, usually it is around now. That's why I said I'm going to have to reach out and sing. Last time I talked to her, she was getting ready. She was talking about doing a flash sale and listing some up. But she was telling me she was on some really, really good gold. Like really, really good gold. So I kind of stopped bugging her. Because I figured she had better things to do than, talk to Ming. From what she told me, they would hit the mother lode. So, I figure she's probably been really busy. They're probably milking this season for everything it's got, Fraser River sand. Have a 5-gram bag from her. That's a beauty. Yeah, I know a whole bunch of people that just buy her bags because they know they're so good, and they'll just sit them on the shelf. That's probably one of the better ones to sit on a shelf and leave. Because it definitely probably has more gold than it states. John R. is a Paydirt hoarder. Him and Ed. They did their last cleanup a week or two ago. All right. Well, I'm going to definitely have to hit her up. Boop. So nobody, these paradots will not be making it into the Tuesday tailings. I will be panning this out later and pulling those out for John Gear. So, because he asked. And there you go. More gold. Hey, Culver, did you put any Paydirt up on your website? I haven't looked again since last Tuesday. It's been a while. I forgot some of the reasons why people liked Lynch mining so much. It's really easy to pan without being overly easy. Because that's one of the problems is a lot of Paydirt sellers, if they want easy Paydirt, they make it really, really too easy. You know, they'll just put 2 or 3 big pieces of gold in like this sized bag. And so none of this is minus 40, but there is some tinier stuff. There's some stuff in here that's, you know, minus 20 just above minus 40. All right, so now it's bag number 2. That was bag number 1. We're just going to pan them all out together at the end. In the finishing pan. See how much gold we get. Let's see. That's what we got so far. We'll go add some more. We'll just see how it pans out at the very end. Ooh, no peridot. Doesn't look like this might be a peridot free one. I don't see any. JBM, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Careless. That's one of the problems in the chat is you'll start saying hi to people. Like, see, it's easy for me because I can just vocally say it. But man, when you got to type it all out, it gets so. That's why I usually say like a first couple that I can see in chat, and then I say hey to everyone else and to all the rest. There you go, Culver. Well, that's good, man. That's good. Good to sell out. That means you're busy. It means you're making money. Which is the whole reason people really are selling Paydirt is to make money, you know. And speaking of selling Paydirt and making money, even though I really won't be making money, I probably will be putting Paydirt up for sale in about 2 weeks on Patreon. It will be an over 100% ROI bag, or at least very minimum, it'll have 100% ROI. So if you're a Patreon member, save a little couch change for that. It'll be probably in like 2 weeks. That'll be about 2 weeks is the next time I won't have my kids for a couple days so I can manage making Paydirt and selling it. But they'll be $79 and they'll have a gram of gold in them, you know. But I'll let you know next Tuesday. I'll definitely know because next Tuesday will be the Patreon show, and I'll definitely know by then if I'm doing it or not. I can Culverize you. You've never gotten any, Ken? Yeah, I have. It's been a while since I've put any up on Patreon. I think this might be the first bag I've sold this year. I know I sold some last December, last year. This might be the first bag I've sold this year. Yeah. I will tell everyone it's going to be easy Paydirt to pan out because it's going to be my version of Gizmo's Paydirt, or my version of Lynch mining. So it is going to be Arizona Paydirt. It'll just, high ROI, easy to pan, but with a better ROI. Well, there you go, gentlemen. I apologize again for I didn't send them. Sometimes I don't know why I do it, but so whenever I get a new Patreon member, I always send the email to them thanking them, and then I pull a envelope out, so I'll remember to send them a thank you. But then sometimes if I don't do it that night, I'll have a brain fart, and the next day I'll be like, oh, why is this envelope out? And I'll just put it away, and that must have been what happened. And be thankful because I think next year in January I'm gonna stop doing the gold dimes because I'm almost out of them, and but I might keep them. And you're from August last year. Yeah, I haven't sold one since last year. I did Paydirt last year because of the court battle. But then this year I've just kind of been, broke. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'll talk more about it next Tuesday, because next Tuesday we're doing the Patreon Guess the Weight, which, by the way, again, let me remind everyone, if you are a Patreon member and you have not guessed the weight on the gold, go look up the videos. I will post a reminder again probably later tonight or tomorrow morning, because it ends at the end of the month. So if you don't have your guess in within the next, I guess it's like 56 hours or something like that, 48 plus whatever's left tonight. So yeah, like the next 52 hours, then you're going to lose your spot. And the $10 tier members still do not have a lot of guesses. 25.79 have capped out. They all want that gold. $5 tier, I've got a couple, I think half of my $5 tier have guessed because they want to win some shiny. But my $10 tier, almost nobody. And you're just leaving gold on the table for somebody else to easily take. So if you are a $10 member on Patreon, make sure you guess the gold. I'll post a reminder later. And then next Tuesday, we're going to go through all the videos. I will show everyone the videos, and everyone will be able to see how close they were or how far off they were. I will tell you, since it's already been decided, all the $25.79 tier members have guessed. Someone guessed the weight exactly. So someone nailed the gold on the dot. They picked the exact amount. Might be you. So if you're a $25 member, might be, oh, there's some biggies. Look at this. That's a nice one. Yeah, it's kind of chipped up, but there you go. This one kind of reminds me of like one of those old hard candies, those apple hard candies. So Charles King, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. WK Prospecting, how's it going? Not me. You don't know that. It's somebody. I'm not going to say who it is. So, but $5, we still have a whole bunch of $5 tier members who have not guessed, and we have a lot of $10 members that have not guessed. I think I I have more $10 Patreon members than I do any other tier, and the least number of guesses. So we're fortress. So if you're a $10 tier member, make sure you guess. And again, I will post a reminder. I think the vast majority of the people in the live chat are $25 tier members, so you're all good. All your votes are in. $5 tier members are here as well. $10 just don't seem to want to participate. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll just stop putting gold up for the $10 tier. No. All right. I hear a little piece of gold rattling around. Yep. Couple more little pieces. Just add them to the pile. They'll all add up. It definitely wasn't me, that's for sure. I can tell you, out of everyone who says they're not a good guesser, I can tell you I am a much worse guesser, or badder guesser, or not as good guesser, however you want to say it. Because I actually weighed the stuff up. I shot the video saying this is how much gold's in here. And then I put the video away, I edited it and posted it on Patreon. And about 10 days later, I said, well, I need to start making the spreadsheet with everyone's guesses on it. And I couldn't remember how much gold was in there, the very specific number. I couldn't remember what it was, and I didn't want to look at the video while I was doing the spreadsheet, so I said, I'll just guess. And I put my guess down. And I was not even close. And I weighed it up, so I knew the answer somewhere in my brain. I knew the answer, and I still wasn't close. Last I looked, there was 8 guesses. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it just makes it easier for everyone else. The $10 is going to be a much easier guess. You only have a 1 in 8 chance of winning, you know. Because like the $25 tier, I think there's 25 members and all 25 guess. That means they essentially have a 1 in 25%, 1 in 25 chance to win it. The $10 tier, you got a 1 in 8 shot right now. And there's 29 members, I think. So weeds and geese. Yeah. Like I said, I used to watch all the Vendetta guess the Paydirt videos, and I could never even get close. But here we go. More gold, more gold, more gold. And there it is. It's gone, just like all the other gold. I know. It is almost worth it to join the $10 tier just to guess. But then again, I could say that, and then tonight when I post the reminder, all the rest could join. So, but I won't complain if anyone wants to join my Patreon before the end of the month. And I won't complain because I still do have one $79 slot open. So if you want a guaranteed bag of Miller Prospecting Paydirt every single month, you could join the $79 tier. And you get to guess on the $25 tier every month too. No, that was always way off. I know, that was, to me, I think that's harder. Guessing the gold, I think, isn't as hard as guessing the dirt. Because dirt on camera all looks the same. You know, you can't smell it. Because, you know, some dirt will have really earthy smells. Some will smell like something died in it. And you can, like, oh, that's from, you know, that area. You know, and you can't really tell black sands and how dark material is on camera. Brad. And thank you very much for dropping that, Ed. What's up, troubled one? How's it going? And Matthew Philotrot, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And if anyone's curious, tonight we're panning out some Gizmo's Paydirt. These are their old cheap bags with no guaranteed gold in them. They just said they had gold, but no specific amount. They used to cost like 18 bucks, I think. 16 to 18 bucks, depending on when you bought them. Tomcat Josh, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. All right, almost done with bag number 2. Like I said, again, this is what the reason that people like these. They had horrible ROIs, but it just kept you busy. I mean, what, 45 minutes panning, and we haven't even finished the second bag. So you're looking at 30, 35 minutes to pan each bag out. And it was cheap. Everyone's got, 25 bucks to buy a bag of Paydirt. And I think what made these different too is because for example, if I just opened up a website and I called it Bob's Paydirt, and I listed a bag of Paydirt up that was 18 bucks plus $10 shipping with no guarantee, no one would buy them. Nobody. They'd say, it's a ripoff. Well, I've seen enough bad Paydirts or stuff like that. But if a good, reputable seller, if I was already selling Paydirt, 1 gram bags of Paydirt, and I was already selling them, had tons of good reviews on them all, and then I added this puppy in there, which is exactly what Lynch did. So they were already well established as being a really good 1 gram bag of Paydirt seller. They figured, I'll buy one of these, because I think most people who bought these also ended up buying like a 1 grammer. So they'd say, I'm already buying a 1 gram bag of Paydirt. I might as well buy this little $18 bag of Paydirt as well, because they combined shipping. So your shipping went from $12 to $14. They figure I spend 20 bucks, get a bag of Paydirt, get a little bit of gold, and they weren't disappointed. Troubled one. Oh, that sucks. I've had a lot of those. Sadly, though, I think the vast majority of the Paydirts that were really bad are the ones that I bought. I don't think I've ever had anyone send me a bag of Paydirt that sucked. Usually, a lot of times, I think the worst Paydirt anyone's ever sent me, just as a supporter or fan, was a Jeff Williams bag. I think that was the worst, where I got like a 50% ROI. Or he got a 50% ROI, what I would have gotten. And that was about the worst, because generally, most people don't go out and buy really bad ones. Hopefully. Yeah. But I've got a ton of 0% ROIs. I've gotten a few zeros. And sadly, those were ones I spent money on, But man, that sucks. Low ROIs just are the worst. Got to have some sort of guarantee. Well, they would, like for the old Lynch ones, they did guarantee you would find gold, just not a specific amount. So, all right, we're all done. Now we're on bag number 3. And I think people trusted them because they sold guaranteed bags of Paydirt. Like if you go to Golden Paydirt, none of his Paydirt has a guarantee. None of it. But if you went to Lynch Mining in his heyday, they had 20 different bags of Paydirt you could buy that all had a guarantee. And then he had 2 bags with no guarantee. Or 4, More gem stuff. No, I don't want hard Paydirt with no gold in it. And I've been stockpiling a whole bunch of black sands because I'm going to shoot a video Well, actually, it's not going to be until January that it comes out, but it's just going to be a lot of black sands. Well, there you go, Weezen. I did not know that. Thank you for letting everyone know. Highly suspect it's golden under a different name. Is it American Eagle? If it's American Eagle, that would be the only other one that I think. If you tell me the name, I could tell you if it's golden Paydirt. No. And again, I apologize in chat if I miss anybody's question or anything. It's just new setup where the new chat is. Here, I'm actually going to move it. I don't know why I just didn't move it. There we go. Because I just can't see it up there. Now I move it over here. I can see it while I'm panning. All right, that's better. If it falls in the water, it's only $60. 0% or as 100%. That's right, HD. I agree, Brad. I'm not a huge fan. There's only a couple sellers that I will buy from that don't have a guarantee. You know, like if Mike at GNS did a no guarantee or Mike Vendetta did one, I would probably buy one that had no guarantee. But someone out of the blue that I've never heard of, no. No, you paid 0 and you found 0. So that's 100%. You got exactly your money's worth. Now, somebody bought that, though, unfortunately, and they did not get a good ROI. you know. But there's not very many sellers that if they don't have a guarantee, and usually you can tell just by the way they talk. Like, if you look at a good seller, like any of the sellers in my top 10 on my website, millerprospecting.com, you can tell, like they'll tell you about the Paydirt. They'll tell you how much gold you're going to find, what size the gold you're going to find is, how difficult it's going to be pan out, where the material comes from, where the gold comes from. That's a standard for a really good website. The websites with no guarantee, there's generally something like this. This Paydirt has a ton of gold, the most gold you're ever going to find, the biggest nuggets you're ever going to find. So much gold, you're not going to know what to do with all the gold. You're going to find so much gold. No gold guaranteed. That's essentially what it says, where they tell you, oh, this bag of Paydirt has a ton of gold. And then they'll show you a picture, and there's, and they'll have a disclaimer underneath the picture, not a representation of the amount of gold you're going to find. If you have to put a disclaimer somewhere on there, then you're not going to find it. So they'll speak it and talk it, Like, you're not going to go on Vendetta's website and see him saying, like, oh, you're going to find more gold than you've ever found ever before in my 1 gram bag of Paydirt. No, he's going to tell you you're going to find 1 gram of gold. People with no guarantee, they're going to tell you you're going to find huge, massive nuggets like never seen before, But then they don't show you a picture of any of the nuggets you could find, No. Hey, TM, how's it going? There is gold in them there hills. And the problem is getting it out of them hills is the problem. JBM, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's celebrate. That's your 5th super like on my chat. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it all 5 times. It's way too kind, way too generous. I appreciate everyone who pops in and just lurks. I appreciate everyone who types in chat and just watches the show. I really do appreciate it. Oh, there you go, D3. I'll go crack you some black sands. Finding spice jars. Man, that is, you would think that would be easy, but it's not. Spice jars are like, the problem you find a good spice, like, you go to the store and you're like, oh, I like this one. It'll be expensive. And you're like, well, that sucks. I don't want to pay $6 for garlic powder, But I could buy the dollar jar right next to it that looks ugly. Tomcat, thank you very much, Tomcat. Josh, I really appreciate that as well. Way too kind. And thank you very much. If I smelled it all the blacks, I could make an engine block. If I wanted to do all my black sands, I'd have to dig up my yard because they all end up being dumped into my backyard eventually. I make my own. Well, there you go, brother. That's much better. I'm way too lazy for that. I can't do that. Not when Walmart sells them for $1. But I use a ton of it though. I do go through a ton of it. I was looking at it today. I made some mashed potatoes, and I don't use butter or anything. I just add garlic powder and onion powder to it. Because my doctor says no more butter. No butter. Live a boring life. No good food. Wesley, how's it going, Wesley? How's it been going? Hopefully you're doing good. I know Wesley has guessed his guess on my Patreon contest. I really should have been picking these paradots out and put them to the side. I don't know why I just been dumping them in the water and why I continue to just dump them in the water. But they should be easy to pick out. They're all pretty big, which is weird. This is a weird bag. I have to say, this is a weird batch of Gizmos because I've went through a lot of Gizmos and it was always really, really tiny pieces. Like the size of this gold almost. It was never really big pieces, which was why I was never really, like, oh, wow, look at this. These are actually big pieces. I wonder. Yeah, a 5-gallon bucket of black sands would be heavy. Because it drives me crazy because every time I fill a 5-gallon bucket down here, I have to go, that's going in my yard. It's got to go up my old creaky basement steps. And I'm always like, one of these days I'm just going to plunge right through these steps. Garlic powder and onion powder is made from the skins. I did not know that. I did not know that. I'm doing well, Wesley. I'm doing well. I can't complain. Can't complain. On a Tuesday Night Live, people are watching the show. I'm finding a little bit of gold. Yeah. I will say I'm not having any coffee. I'm missing my coffee very desperately, though. I was down in my studio shooting a video. I'm still not finished. I was halfway through shooting a video when I decided to do my live. Well, not decided, when my live show started. So I was drinking coffee all day, and I kind of figured better not have more, because after this live show, I've got to finish shooting the video, and I'll need coffee for that. So you need lighter black sands or smaller buckets. That's it. You need to go. That's what used to bug me. Menards used to have square 3-gallon buckets, and man, I bought like 5 of them, and I was like, these are perfect. They're perfect for everything. And then they stopped selling them. I was like, what? If I'd have known that, I'd have bought 20 of them. Yeah, a lot of gold in this one. Is tonight the last game of the World Series? I would not know. I am not a baseball fan. That is one sport where I just never could get into it. I'll watch basketball. I'm not a huge fan of basketball. I'm like football. It's just one of the things. Most people that get into sports will either like one or two. That's it. And I like football, and I barely watch it anymore now. Mostly all I watch is MMA stuff. Boxing, MMA, stuff like that, People beating each other up. That's... No, I have not Refotris, but then, mail is slow around me. So anything that's supposed to, like if you send a package to me and it says, oh, it's going to be delivered October 28th, it'll show up on the 30th. Because the Evansville hub is just ridiculously slow. Once they get something, it's supposed to be like at the office the next morning. It won't. It'll be there the day after that. Then it'll show up late in the afternoon. So I'll probably get it tomorrow or the next day. Put the black sand in. Yeah. Unfortunately, the stairs don't have sides to them. So they're just it's just like a floating staircase in the middle of the house. So if I dump black sands, eventually it'll just fill my entire basement. It'll just be nothing but black sands. So eventually my kids will be like, I thought my dad's house had a basement. Nope, it's just full of dirt. Just full of these black sands. No basement. Stairs go down one step. That's it. Brad Thompson. That's it. Watching people playing dirt. Just washing dirt. Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch the Tyson Paul fight. Most definitely. I've watched all of the Jake Paul fights. I only watch his fight though. I can't watch the rest of the stuff, the gimmicky stuff and the concert and all that. I can't put up with that. But I watch his fights just to see, they're essentially exhibition fights, all of them. He's paying washed up people. Ben Askren has never thrown a punch in his life, and he threw him. But, I'm curious to see what he does against Tyson. The last Tyson fight, when he fought Holyfield, when they redid their exhibition, Mike Tyson looks great in videos. Mike Tyson, when you see him training, he absolutely looks like his old self training, because it's a 15, 30-second training. When he was fighting Holyfield in that, exhibition, he was so slow. Because he knows he can't punch like that. The beach with no water, there you go. So I don't think it'll be that great of a fight, but I'll watch it. I watch bare knuckle, PFL, UFC. I watch them all whenever they come on. Every weekend, any of them come on, I watch them. Archaeology and Gold, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Alan Jackson, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Good luck in the tournament. Tyson is jacked. Tyson does look jacked. What I'm more curious to see is Jake Paul has said, because Jake Paul owns part of PFL, and Jake Paul has been training for MMA, and he is going to be making his MMA debut in 2025. I think it's going to be in like March or April. And I'll be really curious to see that. Like, I want to see him actually having to wrestle somebody or something, you know. But I'm sure he'll be fighting wash ups and stuff like that still, you know. Culver. Yeah, I mean, Tyson, it'll be curious. I'll be curious to see it. I'm going to watch it. So, I mean, like everybody, I'm hoping Tyson knocks him down. But, you know, it is an exhibition. So, by them being very specific about saying it's an exhibition, makes me think that they're not going to be throwing really hard punches. You know, that's always one of the problems. You know, like, why wouldn't he make it a regular fight? Well, I mean, the reason they didn't make a regular fight is because probably Tyson couldn't get approved, but, you know. No, yeah, Tyson in his prime. Like, I remember, I grew up watching Tyson. I watched every one of his fights, and that was before you could pirate them. So I used to pay that money every single month or every couple of months to watch Tyson when I was young. When Tyson was young, he was an absolutely demon. It's just, you know, once he lost Customato, once Customato died, that was the end of Tyson. Tyson should have retired right then. But he got talked into Don King, joined the Don King camp, and it just ruined his career. Because, you know, he had somebody in his taking half of his money, whispering in his ear, "You're the best. You don't need to train. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. You're the best." And you kind of, you know, Cuss didn't put up with that. Hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight Tyson when I was any point of my life to any point of his. If I would have been at my prime, I wouldn't want to fight 100-year-old Tyson. You know, he can hit hard. That's the one thing. You know he can hit hard. It's just whether or not he could take a punch anymore. That's going to be his problem. You get old, taking a punch is a lot harder. He could probably still hit you, but he might not like getting hit as much. But I am excited for that fight. I'll be curious to see. I'm hoping it doesn't get, you know, canceled again. Yeah. I was telling my kids the other day, I said, I'm surprised, really surprised nowadays that, you know, with things like, you know, Paul and Tyson and all these people and MMA being so big, UFC, PFL, all these people doing so big because, like, you know, the PFL is, you know, some billionaires backing that one. And, you know, another billionaire was backing one of the other organizations for a long time. And Saudi Arabia essentially bought half of the UFC. You know, they put a big chunk into the UFC. Is why one of these countries that has, like, you know, no extradition or no, like, favoritism towards the United States and these other states doesn't start gladiator fighting again. You know, just put a man and a sword against a lion and say, "Hey, we're streaming it only." You know, I was telling someone the other day, I was like, I'm surprised we haven't gotten to that yet. Because you went from, you know, what was it, 6, 7 years ago, just getting MMA approved into New York took years and years and years because they said MMA was, you know, where you're wearing gloves was bad. To now you have bare knuckle fighting, you know, so it's not going to be very many years before you have goes from bare knuckle fighting to sword versus lion, you know, or sword versus bear. Yeah, that's it, Trouble One. That was it. Who was the one fight when he fought Spinks? When Tyson fought Spinks, everybody knew Spinks was going to fall down so quick. And that's exactly what happened. He came out dancing. Mike Tyson hit him one time. He laid down, and you could tell, you could see in his eyes, because most of the times when Tyson knocked somebody out, their eyes were in the back of their head and they were not moving for an hour. When Tyson hit Spinks, it wasn't a hard punch. I mean, it was a hard punch, but it wasn't like, you know, he was trying to take his head off. He hit him hard. Spinks fell. Spinks was not getting up. Spinks thought to himself, I just made $5 million. I'm not getting up. Why get hit again when I make 5 months? I did see that HD. I did see that they now have like medieval fighting in cages. But I'm talking about where somebody dies, you know, where like the lion will eat the person if they don't win. Gentleman prospect. Yeah, I wouldn't even get in the ring. I would just be like, nope, I'm out. As soon as you get to the dressing room and I cash that $10 check, I'd be like, tell them I'm out. I'm not showing up. That's it. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Funny story, when I was young, me and a whole bunch of my friends, we went to a bar, and I guess there was like 5 or 6 of us. And it was a pool hall, but it was typically, you know, we weren't like, you know, preppies or dressed nice or anything like that. We were the rough and tumble lot. And we went to this pool hall, and there happened to be a whole bunch of like rich kids playing pool. So we sat and we waited for a little while. And they just, you know, were ignoring our quarters and putting their own quarters in. So next thing you know, drinking, it leads to a fight. We're all throwing punches. Everyone's fighting. And the next thing I know, I hear one of my good friends screaming, dude, why are you hitting me? And when I turn over and my friend's on his back and one of my other friends is sitting on top of him just wailing away because, you know, he had just got hit in the head. And when he got punched, he just grabbed somebody and threw them on the ground and started fighting. So I'm thinking to myself, well, this is why we're losing, because it's 6 against 6 and 2 of us are fighting each other and we're all just getting beat up. Needless to say, we lost and we did not get to play pool that night. I blame it all on my 2 friends who started fighting each other because one of them got punched in the face. I need a front tooth out, mate. Well, if you just saw, I don't know if you just saw, but the last fight they had last Saturday, the main event, the guy was put in a crank hold and it popped his front 2 teeth down, like his bottom teeth. It pushed them all the way back into his mouth. That's it, troubled one. That's, you know, especially when you're young. We were all like that. You know, we'd get drunk and, oh, yeah, I'll fight you. And the worst, though, is if I remember one time there was a guy I really didn't like. And we used to get into fights all the time. But usually we were both drunk when we'd get in a fight. But I remember one time somebody was telling me, they're like, oh, he's outside. He's outside the bar. And I was hammered. I mean, hammered drunk. And they're like, oh, yeah, so-and-so's outside. And I said, oh, yeah, hold on, let me go outside. So I go outside, and he's perfectly sober. And I was like, dude, you know we're about to fight. And he even tried to, you know, he's like, no. Dude, come on, man. He's like, you're drunk. And this is a dude we always fought whenever we saw each other. And I'm like, I don't care, we're fighting. And he's like, no, dude, you're drunk. I'm not going to fight you. So I just started swinging. And yeah, needless to say, I was on the ground pretty quick. And I was like, man, what happened? And all my friends said, no, don't worry about it. You tripped. I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. And he laughed. Stephen LeBlanc, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Oh, if Tyson hit me, I think I'd go a couple years before it stopped bouncing around in my skull. No, if he didn't just kill me outright. MH, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. And if one of my mods wants to drop the hidden link, because we're getting close. If you haven't already, I know there's some new people joining in. Make sure you leave a comment on the hidden video, because tonight we're going to be giving away spot number 7 for next week's giveaway. So we'll have all 7 spots filled. And next week during the Patreon contest conclusion, we will give that bag of Paydirt away from Western State Minerals. I get drunk and I get sleep. Well, this is when I was young, so, you know, nothing good came about when I was drinking when I was young, so. This is crazy. Look at the size of this. I've never seen anything that big come from. I think John knew. I think John knew these bags were loaded with really big paradots. Look at the size of that. Look at that. What? Dropping it in. And it's not going to Tuesday tailings. Mailing that off to somebody. Rock candy. No. Oh, yeah. I've been way too old for any of that stuff for a long time. Oh, that's awesome, Brian Phillips. Well, the problem with a lot of them, let me see, can I find it? I dropped it into the pile. There you go. See, I found it. It's so big, I found it in the tailings that easy. Is most of these are all cracked. I mean, I don't know if you could see it, but this one's cracked all the way on one side. Is they're all really badly cracked. So, and it's got some indentations. Like, if you cut this up, it'd be really small. They all look like they were tumbled way too rough, and they all got cracks in them, which sucks. In a group of 10, well, yeah, that was me. It was me and another guy because we were both dating the same girl. We would take turns, you know. It'd be like, oh, she broke up with you. Well, now she's dating me. Oh, now she's broke up with me, dating him. No. I heard, Brian, 8.9 grams. That's awesome, brother. That's got to be a record for there. That really has to be a record for that. David Dan riding the just walking. Walking kicks my butt nowadays. You know? I mean, I have to think about it. Like, if I'm on my chair and I'm like, ugh, I really should go feed the cat. It comes to my mind. I'm like, well, is it really worth it? And then the cat will start looking at me like he's about to kick my butt. And I'm like, okay, it's worth it. But, you know, I'm going to be in pain for a couple minutes after. How in the news once for getting jumped. MH, that's awesome. Did you actually get it in the 1 gram, or were they only selling it still in the like small? Because that's why it took me forever. I wanted to shoot that video like 6 months ago or 6 months prior. Like when I first found them, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm gonna order some. And then like the next day I went back and they were out of the 1 gram vials and all they had were the like 10 milliliter vials. And I was like, well, no, I'm not paying that, because then it ended up being like 150 a gram. And I was like, oh, no, I don't want to pay that. So I went back like a couple months later. Like I emailed them first and asked them a few times. And they're like, nah, we'll get it in when we get it in. And then finally got it in. So I grabbed some when it was just in the 1 gram vials. Yeah, that was a problem. When they only have the 10th up, it's not really a great deal, but only, yeah, the best deal is the 1 gram when they have it, because then you get the bigger pieces too. Because generally I bought, the way it worked was I bought, I think 4 of them, 4 grams. You would get 2 pieces. If you bought a gram, you'd get 2 pieces that would weigh about 0.8 combined. So they would weigh about 0.4 each. So there is a website too that sells purple gold jewelry. That's some really cool stuff, but it's like, you know, $1,200 for a little bitty pendant or something. It's way too overpriced, but More gold. And yes, purple gold. I've got a video up showing the purple gold, where I panned out purple gold. They had blue gold? I'm gonna have to go look at that one. I've got some purple gold front. Yeah, I dye some or paint some. Yeah, it's just a very specific formula for gold and aluminum mixed. Red Nile has a video about him making it, and it took a lot to get him to make it. It's a really hard thing to do to make. It's a very specific temperature and formula to get it done, and it's super fragile. Like if you drop one of the pieces on the floor, it'll break into 1,000 pieces. So yeah, it's definitely a gimmick, but it is gold. I mean, it's still 75% gold. They take pure gold and they mix it with a certain percentage, so you're still getting 75 karat gold. You couldn't really probably sell it too much, you know. And the only reason I got it, like I would have probably only bought one just to show for a video, but I had someone that wanted me to make them a really special custom bag of Paydirt, where it was actually a treasure chest of Paydirt, and their favorite color was purple. So, and I was like, "Whoa, this fits," you know. Yeah, but I prefer yellow. I'd rather much rather have, you know, a couple cubes of yellow gold over purple. But it's really cool stuff. You know, I sent a gram to one person, a really good friend of mine, for their desk. And then the rest went into the custom pay dirt. Couple more pieces. And thank you, Weezen, very much for that. That looks like a bigger piece of gold there. Mm. My actual preference is dirty yellow gold. I don't. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of when it's super shiny. I like it when it's kind of dirty, straight out of the ground, dirty. That's one of the reasons why I really like Yukon Alley's pay dirt and gold, uh, Mammoth Gold Nuggets. Both of them, their gold hasn't been cleaned. You know, it doesn't have that Diet Coke residue on it. Sean McClelland, how's it going? Still at it. I wish that rattling was big gold nuggets, but I know it's paradox. So, even though I did think I saw a bigger piece of gold in there. Let's fetch these out later. I don't know. I hear something. Still another peridot. Let me see. I hear a little something moving around in there. New Zealand's got some nice gold. Australia, New Zealand, all this other places have really nice gold. A bigger piece. Not even a picker, but barely a picker of that. There we go. Just be done with it. Yeah, the purple gold is really hard. What was I was watching some video talking about it on just how difficult it is once they get it. That's why, like, if you look at the jewelry, the pieces in it are like, 1 gram gold nugget in the ring, or and it's $1,200 because it's so hard to, once you get it made, to actually finish it without breaking it. So I'm sure that's what it is. They figure, all right, let's get a 2 gram gold bar. Now we have to make it into this oval shape. They probably break 5 or 6 of them before they actually get one made. That's it. D3. That's the gold I really really like. I have a couple pieces, about 1-2 grams, that I have stashed away in my kid's box. That is just like, if you looked at it, you would not know it was solid gold, or it was mostly gold underneath all the black and ugliness. A 10-kilo brick. Hey, you never know. What was it? I have somewhere. I'll have to find it. I have a picture somewhere of a company bought, I think it was a 10 kilo. I think it was a 10-kilo gold bar. It passed everything. It passed the scans, XRFs. It passed scales, everything. And they had it for a while, and they decided to cut it in half because they were going to make smaller bars. They cut it, and the very center in the core had a 1 pound bar of like lead or something else mixed in, just solid. A solid bar was right in the center of it. I don't know what it was. It might have been, something other than lead, but it was something that was not gold. And they were talking about, they were like, normally you wouldn't think of anything like that, but they said it weighed perfect. It was so big that they couldn't, when they scanned it, nothing would go through it all the way. It was a pretty cool picture, and they would have never known if they wouldn't have cut it. You Oh, Sisu? Yeah, that was a really good movie. Where he's fighting the Germans. That was a crazy movie. He had some big gold nuggets in that, man. It's like one of those over the top movies. It's just, the action is just so crazy. It's like there's no way that would happen, but it was a good movie, and it was all this to say, because he just wanted his gold. Yeah, great movie. I might have to watch it again. I watched it right when it came out, so it's been a while. I might have to watch it again. I had to watch it with my son. He didn't. Originally, we were going to watch it together, but then he went back to his mom's, and I ended up watching it without him. Yeah, just about a guy who finds a mother load of gold and decides to go to town to sell it all, and he runs into the Germans, or the Germans run into him. Yep, vinegar works great for cleaning gold. All right, this is the last of it. Let's put it in there. See how much gold we get. 4 bags from Lynch Mining. See what kind of smile it makes. Oh, you just want the gold cube? That's it. That's the only reason you're talking to me. So I get you the gold cube. That's a D3. Yeah, it's got to stay ugly. I figure my kids, I have a note in there telling them, that it's gold and not to sell it as a black rock. But yeah, he does tell you what his name's supposed to mean in the movie, what his meaning of it is. Did you reach out for me for the signed pan? Email me. Type email into the chat box and it'll tell you my email. Email me and remind me to send, and I'll send you a signed pan. If I told you I'd send you one and I forgot, just remind me in an email. And I'll send one out. I still have a couple left. But you got to email me. If you don't email me, then I'll forget. Tomorrow I'll be done and out the brain pan. I'll be thinking about something else. What I'm cooking for dinner. Yeah. But I still have like 5 or 6 of those green pans I signed. D3. Yeah. I know. That's why everyone hates when I end the panning. Like once they see the gold, they're like, oh, this is when he comes back. The ugly mug shall be returning. And I don't blame y'all. Looking at dirt and gold is much better than looking at my ugly mug. Tomcat Josh, thank you very much, brother, for the cause. You want to sign a pan? You can sign a pan. Oh, you want a signed pan? Well, I will tell y'all what. Just because, everyone is being so nice and wonderful in chat. Someone type email into the live chat box. And the next 5 people that email me and ask for a pan, I will send you one. You might have to pay me for shipping, but that's it. But that way I'll get rid of the pans and I won't have to have people asking me to sign a pan form anymore. I'll be done. So next 5 people email me. I'll be done with the pans. There you go. So we'll have to see how much money I have in my stamps.com account. So I might hit you up for $5 shipping. That's it. So less than the pan cost, probably. I know. I know I'm not that ugly, but there's better things to be. Based on my YouTube experience, because every time I open YouTube, there's nothing but like half-dressed girls in all the shorts that they're trying to show me. I don't know why. Everyone I'm subscribed to is about prospecting, and yet they think the shorts I want to see are about some 22-year-old in a bathing suit. Like, I might look, but that's not really what I'm here for, YouTube. Oh no, what was that? Coverage in Alaska could use a pan. There you go. Well, email's up there. Everyone's been posting it. Dylan at Miller Prospecting. You linger too long. No, I don't watch them. I can just see them because they're in my shorts feed. It'll be mixed up. So, like, I'll look and it'll say, like, the top 3 videos will be whoever I've subscribed to. And then the next three will be like 5 shorts, and maybe one will be Vendetta with a short, and you know, somebody else in my subscribers list. Then the other 3 are like, you know, clickbaity, half naked girls. So, and I don't watch any shorts. I refuse to watch shorts. The only shorts I've ever watched are really as if it's for a contest or something, or, you know, maybe Vendetta will post something. But I probably watch 1 short a month. That's it. Travel. uh, you know, it's the same thing on all of them too. Like, you know, I'm on Instagram and TikTok. I really don't watch too much, but Instagram, there's a couple people I follow on Instagram. Like I just followed someone. What was it the other day about steel books for Blu-rays? Because I needed to email them about something, so I followed him just so I'd remember. And so, like, when I logged into my Instagram, it showed his video, and the next one was some girl, and I'm like, "What? This? You know, this is a dude that designs steel books. That has nothing to do with, you know, what? That's where they make all their money from, is people watching those videos. So they're gonna push them no matter what. You'd be surprised, D3. You know, because I can tell you, because I know for a fact. So when Clash did his big breakout video, when he did his the Streets of New York video that got him, you know, like 250,000 subscribers, new subscribers, he took a break. And I guess he was, you know, just living the high life up because he just made all those, you know, new viewers. And he reposted, so he had all his videos in his archive. He reposted them as longer versions where he just edited them and showed the long versions where he didn't do all the editing. And then he came, and I watched the views on them, and they all did really well. And most of them did about the same numbers as his original videos did. And then he edited them again into shorts, and they did not do well at all. You know? Yeah. It just depends, you know. I just can't be bothered with shorts because you have to do it all on your phone, and I can't stand the extra steps I have to do to transfer it to, you know, my laptop and then post it back onto my phone to upload it and stuff like that. So it is extra steps. I don't want to do extra steps for a 30-second video. Crash. And it's weird. The only reason I even have the other ones is because originally I was going to start trying to edit my videos down to shorter amounts so I could put them on Instagram and stuff. But it was just, you know, it's like, hey, everyone, as always, Dylan, Miller Prospecting. Thank you, all my Patreon members. That's it. That's all the videos would be. So I was like, eh. Well, if anyone isn't subscribed to D3, go subscribe to his channel. And as always, if you're not subscribed to somebody in chat, go subscribe to him. If one of my mods wants to post D3's channel in the live chat, so everyone can go subscribe to him, because I don't even know if I'm subscribed to you, D3. Here, I'm gonna go subscribe right now. There you go. And you had 105 subscribers. You're lying, telling me 2. But everyone go subscribe to him. I just looked. He had 105 subscribers. And now 106 because I just subscribed. I do everything from my phone. Yeah, see, I do everything from my laptop. My phone is for texting very rarely, and that's about it. I watch Instagram or YouTube on my phone. That's about 90% of its use. No. Anything else, if it's got to do with anything else, I just do it on my laptop, you know. I edit all my videos on my laptop. I design all my thumbnails on my laptop. So it's just easier if I do everything about one place. Uh, if you want to look at sucky videos, go back to mine and when you look at my channel, go back to the originals and watch my first videos. Everyone that starts on YouTube, if they're, I was telling my son about this earlier because we were talking about, like people on YouTube and people that make a ton of money. If you watch some of these old videos and they sucked and their videos are low crap and it doesn't matter how many subscribers. So like, let's say you look at somebody that's got 10 million subscribers. If you look at their first video and it was like crap, that means they worked their way up. And then you'll see the people that their first video looks like it was shot on a $10,000 camera. And that's because it was somebody who already had a ton of money, a ton of, parents backing them and all this other stuff. And they just were like, oh, wow, I want to try this for this month. And then it took off because they had professional videos to start off with. But if you look at my old videos, they were garbage. I hate my old videos. Well, I mean, I don't hate them, but you can just see the progression. It's only been like, I actually didn't even show my ugly mug until like the beginning of last year. Before that, people just saw my hands. That was it, and heard my voice. I did not show my ugly mug on camera until beginning of last year, somewhere around there. Yeah. Just as you channel grows, you just see, well, this works, this doesn't work. I'll add more, I'll do this, as you get more comfortable. Because my intention was never to show my face on camera. It just wasn't, but then it was just like to change my format. It just made it easier to do. John Wayne, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. So there we go. Now, unfortunately, I can't weigh it up because all my gear for weighing and putting gold in is being used by the video I'm in the middle of shooting, the Paydirt review I'm in the middle of shooting. So I will weigh this up later tonight and post it on Patreon and YouTube on how much it is. But looking at it, I don't know. I want to say it's like 0.8 something, 0.88. And there's actually a piece over here I missed. It was 4 bags, but those bags, when they were sold, they were usually sold for like $18 a bag. So, but this has been sitting on somebody else's shelf. This Lynch mining closed, what, about 18 months ago? So gold back then was probably in the 60s per gram. 0.79. I think that's a gram. I don't know. They weren't known for having a quarter gram in them each, really. 1.13, 0.83. Yeah, I'm thinking it's in the 0.8s. Because typically for these bags, they had, like John said earlier, 0.15 to 0.20. That was their average per bag. When they had their 5-pound bags, those averaged 0.2 to 0.25. So, and those bags cost like $5 more. So I'm thinking 0.88 because it does look a little heavy. But while y'all are thinking about your guesses, that means it's ugly mug time. So let me move everything around. Get the ugly mug situated again. Well, all you see is black sands now. But there you go. Move. There you go. It'll turn. It's going to go back to hiding. Gold's always trying to see what will stay away. But all right. Just posted the hidden comment. Make sure this is your last chance for this bag from Best or Western State Minerals. It's guaranteed 1/3 gram of gold, but it could have up to a gram in it. You're going to get 1/3 gram. And we'll be giving that away next Tuesday. So we got spot number 7 going up tonight. Currently, people listed. The other ticket holders are Charles King, Jason G, Josh Ortiz, A3 Sky Warrior, Shane Prothero, and Matthew Phelps. So make sure you go leave a comment. And as always, if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat before the end of the show, or you lose your spot. And then we'll pick the name next week before we give it away. So make sure you're here. Make sure you post a comment. And then next Tuesday, we won't be doing a drawing, so there won't be a new hidden comment next week because we'll be giving this bag away. I'll be giving away stuff for Patreon. We're not giving away, but I'll be declaring the winners for the Patreon Guess the Weight. And by the way, if you're a Patreon member and you haven't already guessed, make sure you go on Patreon, look at your mail, your messages on Patreon, go to the appropriate spot on Patreon, and guess how much gold is in a video. 0. Shane Prothero. Now, I paid for this, so you don't want me to get 0.56. Guess high. Yeah, it usually takes 5 grams per gram. Yes, 0.8. Like I said, I think it's a little heavy. It looks a little heavy, so I'm going to say 0.88. But I will post on Patreon tomorrow, and you don't need to be a Patreon member to see it. You could just go and join as a free member, or just it'll show up, even if you're not a member. You don't even have to join. It's just patreon.com, Miller Prospecting, and it'll show you. That makes me want to pan out some of the gizmos. Yeah, I used to love the gizmos. That was my favorite. So the reason I even got this was that originally I got the gizmos jar up here on my shelf. And Stephen LeBlanc, thank you again for that very much. I got that from him. But then I thought, well, that's kind of lonely because the two things that really I liked about Lynch mining was the gizmos and the black label. So then I reached out to John to get the black label, and that just led me down a web of getting a whole bunch of Paydirt. 0.83, yeah. Let's see, it's too bad you're not all Patreon members because y'all love to guess numbers. Even when I don't ask you to guess numbers, I can't get my Patreon members to guess. I got to keep reminding them and reminding them. Miners Depot, that's what I miss. Lynch mining, they were going downhill. If they would have never went downhill, like if they would have kept being the good company they originally were, then I miss Lynch mining. But unfortunately, Lynch mining, had their first good year. Then they started slowly just getting worse and worse and worse and worse until they finally closed. Miners Depot was always good. And I desperately miss Miners Depot. I wish Miners Depot was back. So, which is weird too, because I've seen, I just can't see how much money they're making off their facility over there. I mean, I don't know. I thought they were going to continue selling gold. It would have made it selling Paydirt. They could have did like they were doing, where they were like, we ship out once a month. You buy it and we ship it out. So I don't know. I was really hoping they would continue selling Paydirt, but I guess they're all in on their little facility and gold camp they have up in Alaska. So either that or they're finding so much gold that they don't really care about anything else, We'll have to find out. Ron Hubbard, how's it going? Well, last time you got here, where there was 1 minute left in the show, I think everyone was leaving right as you got here. So you still have about 10 minutes. No. They're making a ton of money at the gold camp. Are they making money off the actual gold camp, or are they actually finding gold? I've seen a couple of videos on the gold camp, and it looks really, really nice. I mean, what they're giving people, so a few years back, I had somebody ask me if I wanted to go to a gold camp. They invited me to go with them. They were going to pay. And I said, yeah. And we looked up a whole bunch. And this was before the Skookum gold camp opened. And most gold camps really aren't worth it. If you fly all the way to California and go to one of these, they put you up in these little bitty shacks with no beds, no sheets. And, then you get to rent a high banker and this and this. And none of it was exciting. And even the best one that we could find was in Nome. And Nome has one. But again, it's just bare bones. You're just, you're staying in some shack. with, holes in the wall, and they don't guarantee you anything or, this and this. But the Skookum, when you look at their package, you get to go there. They put you up in a really nice, well-built cabin. You get to use four-wheelers. I think they have a 6-inch dredge there that you get to use. They got, scuba gear, everything. Anything you want, they have. And then they feed you 3 times a day. They feed you breakfast, and they have lunches to go. And then, so when you're out in the thing, you have lunches, and then dinner. I mean, it's a great package. I mean, it's the Gold Camp, really. That's good. Because, I mean, I know it's not cheap. I think it was like $3,000 per person. So it's not cheap, but it's, if I was going to spend $3,000, I would rather spend it there than on any other Gold Camps anywhere else. So. If you want Miners Depot pay, yeah. Yeah, that's when they had it originally. It was all Arizona stuff, so. Yeah, Skookum is the dream. Like, if I was ever want to go anywhere, Skookum would be it. They have a really nice setup. And I've seen a couple of videos of people that have gone up there, and they always seem like they have a great time. So, all right, let's say bye to the gold and the thing so I can start getting ready for the giveaway. All right, we'll move the panning cam down. There we go. What is going on? Oh. All right, we can have that. There we go. Now let me go make sure all the comments are going through real quickly. Nobody complained, so I'm guessing they all went through. There you go. All right, what is going on with... There we go. All right. All right, now I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to go make sure everything was ready. Set up a gold camp. Yeah, like they spent, I know before they opened Skookum, they said they invested over $1 million in it. Like, and it shows. Like, if somebody told you, like, some of these camps, like, they're like, oh, we spent our life savings on this, you're like, you didn't have much saved. But the Skookum, they said they spent over $1 million, and you can see it. Like, that place is absolutely wonderful. Hoping to get up there in spring or early summer. Yeah, I think that's the ticket. Like, it's been a while since I looked at the Skookum website, but it was definitely better if you could get a whole bunch of people to go. Because I think ended up being like, if you were going solo, because there's going to be me and a buddy of mine, I was talking to him about it, it would have still ended up costing us $3,000 each because it's 2 people per cabin. But if we would have gotten a group of 10, I think it drops down to like $2,500, and that's $500 saving, and and from what I've heard, people are finding a lot of gold. Like, I saw one video, I guess it was last year when I was looking at them last year, and they probably pulled an ounce of gold. So it's like, if you're getting a good, and that was when gold was like 2,000. It's like, if you're getting 2,000 and you spent 3, that's not a bad trip. And I'm sure you could hustle and probably, like if you start seeing gold, you're like, I'm working, I'm staying, come back in the morning, I'll still be here. It's in Alaska. Or no, the Skookum's in Canada, isn't it? Isn't it the Skookum in Canada? Rocky Mountain, I'm so down. I mean, it's like I said, I'll have to see if I can find the video and look it up again. But the dude, you'll see people that say like they go to Alabama Gold Camp or some of these, and you'll see like little bitty like pans that I had here tonight. Like, oh, this is what I did for the day. I mean, this dude just had, an ounce of gold in his pan. So it is in Alaska. Okay. I thought so because I knew you had to fly up there. I just wasn't sure if it was, I guess you would need a passport. So that's why my original thing was Alaska, but then I started doubting myself. I was like, well, where is it? But it's definitely a good trip. Maybe that's what I'll do one of these days. If my kid doesn't need help buying a car, I'll sell all this gold behind me in an auction and go up there to Skookum. 128 miles northeast of Fairbanks. There you go. That's exactly where it's at. I've seen 5 and 6 ounce cleanouts. Yeah, I mean, they definitely aren't good stuff. And it's not like, and like I said, they have a big, I think it's a 6-inch or 8-inch dredge. So you can work the dredge, you can use high bankers. They will give you whatever you want to do. So they make sure that they give you the best chance to find the gold. So it's definitely cool. I wish more people, the one thing is I wish more people shot videos up there because there's not a lot. It's hard to find the videos of them. Yeah. So they got they spent the money. They built a nice camp up there. All right, let's get everything ready for the giveaway. Let me go pull the names, the links, and all that. And as always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this giveaway. This is 100% on me, and it's open to everyone. Anyone can join this. All you have to do is post something in the hidden link, which people have done. There we go. Yeah, brown bears. Yeah, they definitely have a lot of bears. And yes, I know I don't need a passport to go to Alaska. That is Canada. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can get into Canada. A&T Adventures, he's from Britain, post about it. Oh, I'll have to go look him up. Here, let me write it down. Because every once in a while, like I guess it was last year, I was getting nostalgic for Miners Depot, and I was like, oh, let me look up some of their videos to see how their camp's doing. And there was like very little to pick through. There we go. I'll look that up later tonight and watch while I'm eating. You can drive and take it. Okay. Yeah, it would be a long drive for me. I would rather fly. And I'm not a fan of flying, but. So, all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug, do the giveaway. I can figure out where I'm at. So, here we go. Yeah. There we go. So, there we go. A shameless plug as always for the best website about Paydirt, millerprospecting.com. If you want to see any of my reviews, you want to see my last review, which is Gold Paydirt Lynch Mining versus Vendetta, which is why we're doing some Lynch Mining tonight. And that's why last week we did. If you want to see the purple gold, see it's right here, purple gold. And you want to see how I made $700 on a bag of Paydirt, and I have that one there as well. But the most important thing is my top 10 recommended sellers. These are top 10 sellers to buy Paydirt from, my last 100 reviews, and sellers to avoid in my 25 worst ROIs of all time. Gold Rush, Paydirt, Eureka Gold Sands, Washington Beach Mining, Dock Rocks. That was a bad one. Dock Rocks was really bad. But the worst was probably the Randall Glen. Because they not only did Randall Glen get me once, but they got me for 2 bags. Because they got me for a $100 bag that I did for the review and a $50 bag I did for the live show. 0 gold, 2 bags of Paydirt, $150. Randall Glen, absolute worst. And they're still selling Paydirt. Ugh. There we go. We're not going to Nightbot. Where are we going? We're going here. Nightbot, I can close you. You did your job tonight. So, random comment generator. Here we go. Post in the link. And again, you must post something in the live chat before I close tonight's show out to claim your spot. If not, I'll just give away the spot next week. So, anything goes. No replies. Good luck to everybody. 45 comments. Here we go. There we go. Brad Hayden, Rocky Mountain. I know he's in chat. So, Rocky Mountain, you definitely want to show up next week. Let's go. Send it happy Tuesday. Everyone, heavy pans. There we go, brother. And back to the best website. And sellers to avoid. That's also, remember, sellers to avoid right here. But, all right. Ugly mug time. Open up chat again. There we go. D3. Yeah, D3, it's everything you get there, it's all inclusive in their package. They give you everything. Like they feed you everything, you know. You know. Yeah, I'm sure Brad did. I saw him. He was very active in chat. If he didn't, I would be surprised. Yeah. But congratulations to Rocky Mountain, Brad Hayden. So you actually haven't won. It's one of those little like hiccups where you've only won a spot in next week's raffle. So you just won a spot. Next week, again, next Tuesday, we'll be doing a Patreon contest. If you're a Patreon member, you guess the weight. We're going to be giving away some Paydirt next week, or not giving away. We'll be declaring winners for the Patreon contest next week and sending those bags of Paydirt out. I'll be sending out bags of Paydirt to my $79 tier members who get a guaranteed bag of Paydirt just by supporting me on Patreon. And we'll also be giving away this to one of the 7 people who have an entry. And that is, again, Charles King, Jason G, Josh Ortiz, A3 Sky Warrior, Shane Prothero, Matthew Phelps, and Rocky Mountain Life Wrestling. And everyone is here tonight. I think every one of those people is here tonight. So next week, one of y'all will win this bag of Paydirt. We'll give this away. I'm officially saving up for our Skookum trip now. Yeah, you should look up some of the videos. Definitely look them up. That's why I said they're really missing out. I wish they would put some of the videos on their website, like linking to other people's videos, because they have some videos out there, but they're pretty hard to find. Because I think the last one I saw didn't even mention Skookum. It was like somewhere, like it wasn't in the title or anything. It was just when I Googled it, I guess they had it lower down in the like info part. So I ran a test on random pick earlier, getting ready for Thursday night, and guess who won? Was it Brad? No. Well, now you gotta give it to him. So, dang with the price. Yeah, it's expensive. I haven't looked since last year, and last year I think it was like $3,000 per person or somewhere around there, 3,200. I mean, it was pricey. It's definitely way out of my budget. You know, that's 3 months for me. Yeah. I'm just here listening. There you go. So next week, make sure you listen. Maybe we'll call out your name, Jason. But Saturday, I do have a video coming out Saturday. I have a Paydirt review, another Arizona Paydirt seller. Really big bag of Paydirt. It was a huge bag of Paydirt from Arizona. That's what we'll be doing next Saturday. Next Tuesday will be the Patreon show. So, you know, if you're a Patreon member, make sure you get your guesses in because those will be ending on that. You got Judy a cat. Yeah, pets are expensive. We talked about that. Yeah, yeah, 2,500. That's not bad because I think it was $3,000. So you're right. Yeah, I mean it's not bad. You have to pay for your own plane tickets, and that's about it. And I do like last time I looked at their website, they were only doing pickups like on certain days of the week, which was like the most expensive day to fly. Like I think before they used to only pick you up on Fridays. And you'd stay a week, and then they realized, you know, that's like the most expensive day to fly. So it's definitely looked like a trip. Maybe I'll have to start. Maybe that'll be my retirement plan. You know, when I retire from YouTube, I'll fly up there and make one last video of me going up to Alaska as my last hurrah. You know. Yeah, but it's all inclusive. It includes everything. Like they make a point of telling you, like they feed you breakfast. It's a certain time. Like they don't just like. They make a giant big breakfast buffet. And then for lunches, they give you packed lunches. So they'll say, here's your, you know, lunch box full of food for when you go out on the dredge. And then when you come back at a certain night, and they even show you the menus. Like they'll even tell you, like somewhere on their website, I saw that they showed you what their past menus were. And they looked good. Like they were feeding you. It wasn't like you were getting, you know, pork and beans for breakfast and pork and beans for dinner. You know, you were getting good food. So. Yeah, they changed it to Tuesday. Yeah, see, that was one of the things I liked. It makes it better. You know, like they're definitely trying to, you know, a lot of people, the problem with a lot of people that make businesses, they like the way they do it and they don't care what their customers think, you know, and it's definitely that you can see that they want their customers to be happy. They're trying to make more and more people come. They're trying to make it a better experience. And that's really great, you know, so. Yeah. Aqua Donkey. Yeah, I hope everyone has a great night. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna start daydreaming about is my retirement from YouTube and going to Cumridge is going up to Skocum Gold Camp as my last video ever. So I'm a daydream about that while I'm eating dinner tonight. But until then, Saturday, I do have a video coming out. Next Tuesday, we're going to be doing a live show. We're not going to be doing any panning next Tuesday. It's just going to be a shorter show. So if you're late, you will miss the whole show because all we're going to be doing is declaring winners for the gold picking contest, and we'll be doing a giveaway for this. And I'll be telling you some updates about Patreon and things like that and the future of the channel. So that's it. Everyone stay golden. If you haven't already and you see somebody in chat, and if you leave here, go look them up, subscribe to them. Gentleman Prospector, always use more. Aqua Donkey Prospecting. Everyone can always use more subscribers, and it doesn't cost anything. So go subscribe to them. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get something to eat. I hope everyone has a great week. Hopefully you find some good gold. And then I'll see you next Tuesday. But make sure you watch my video Saturday because it was a very expensive video. It's a lot of dirt. I panned and panned. I panned for about 6 hours today. And I probably still have some more panning to do. I have to clean out the water and go back to panning and double check everything, shoot the rest of this video tonight. But thanks, everyone. See you all next